I had you on mute. What's happening? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Yeah. See? Caught it. Just in time. That's okay. So on here? Nope, we're good. Such a peaceful day. 12:53. Here we go.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys, on today's show. What chemical is in your house is killing you right now? Details at 11. And if you have a FUPA, get ready to pay more. And finally, an Olympic sport just for men. And is Africa creating a new ocean for us? All this and much more we discuss here on DeaconLive. And for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you caught up on all the news stories and local, not local, we say that. We'll get you caught up on all the social news and viral videos you might miss over the last several days, or we'll be talking about it up here in the next coming few. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about. I hope you're getting along. And now we're going to kick off the show. We'll start off with what is on everyone's mind. Now, we don't get too political here, but sometimes the political tapestry kind of overflows into everyone's everyday life. That's the way government is not supposed to work, but right now it does. And what I'm talking about is the over-the-road truck drivers. And this past Monday, Donald Trump passed a executive order saying, essentially, if you can't speak English and you're driving these big, huge, 40,000, 80,000 pound vehicles on our nation's highway and you can't speak English, that you need to be either learn English or you'll be taken off the road. You will lose your license. And everyone was like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean you lose your license? Well, it means exactly that. So we're going to go over to a video here. And this is from, I think, ABC 7. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, I have a matching video in full length over on YouTube. So you can see us in real time, in real form, in rare form over on YouTube as well. You just go over to search DeaconLive podcast over on YouTube. You can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. So let me make sure I got the video potted up here. Here's the video. And, I'm sorry, it's NBC 6. Did I screw that all up? Well. This is from South Florida. This is a video. And one of the president's, Donald Trump's latest executive order requires truckers to speak English. If it comes as the White House focuses on immigration and border issues in the first 100 days of his second term. With the signing of this new executive order, the question now is how it will impact South Florida truck drivers, also the West Coast truck drivers as well. President pointed out that proficiency in English, unlike myself, is already a federal law for truckers, but say that the requirements have not been forced in years. So here we go. This is the news report over there in South Florida. So switch over to camera 4. You can see this all together and we can all be friends. So here we go.
Need to speak English to communicate with others and even ask for directions. In an executive order, the president agrees with him, saying proficiency in English should be a non-negotiable safety requirement for professional drivers. They should be able to read and understand traffic signs, communicate with traffic safety, border patrol, agricultural checkpoints, and cargo weight limit station officers. Drivers need to provide feedback to their employers and customers and receive related directions in English. This is common sense. Rigo Diaz is CEO of Simplex Group, a national safety regulation consulting firm for trucking companies.
This regulation has been in place for over 30 years. The state exams and the safety signage and road signages are in English, so I don't see why President Trump is doing this.
Trucker Hermes Duran said he is able to at least communicate and speak in English, but he realizes if his English is not good enough, an official could force him out of service, essentially out of a job if they don't understand him.
So All right, switch back to me now. So I have the executive order, the actual executive order in front of me, as far as what it actually says. And yes, it says, Section 1, the purpose. American truck drivers are essential to the strength of the economy, the security of our nation, and the livelihoods of the American people. Everyday truckers perform a demanding, dangerous work of transporting nation's goods to businesses, customers, and commodities and communities, safety, reliability, and efficiently and effectively as well. As you can see, I probably can't pass the English test. Proficiency in English, which I designated, now this is his executive order, so this is what Trump's saying, designated as our official language in Executive Order 14224 on March 1st, 2025, designating English as the official language of the United States. This should be non-negotiable safety requirement for professional drivers. So it goes on and it repeats exactly what the policy says. So upholding the English proficiency requirement and commercial motor vehicle operators. This is Section 3, Part A. The Secretary of Transportation, acting through the administration of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety and Administration, shall, within 60 days of the date of this order, rescind the guidance of document title English Language Proficiency Testing and Enforcement Policy, whatever the constitutional number there is, issued on June 15th in 2016. I guess they're retracting what they said on that. The issue and issue a new guidance of enforcement personnel outlining the revisions and procedure necessary to ensure the compliance of requirement between, and it has the date there. So the strengthening of the commercial driver's license security for commercial motor vehicles, the Secretary of Transportation, through the administration of the assistant, shall review non-domicile commercial driver's licenses, your CDLs, issued by relevant state agencies to identify any unusual patterns or numbers or irregularities with respect to a non-domiciled CDL issuance. Let's see. Supporting Truck Drivers Americas within 60 days after the date of this order, Secretary of Transportation could be carried out for determination, forcing the actions to improve the work conditions of the American truck drivers. Well, that's good. Nothing in this order shall be construed or misimpaired, otherwise affected. Authority granted by a law, executive department of agency, or head of therefore, and blah, 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 blah. Signed, Donald Trump, April 28, 2025. So what he's saying is, the law has already been, it's not a law. Now it's an executive order. And there's a difference between the two. Basically, it's like a temporary, hey, while I'm in office, while I'm the president of the company, no one drinks coffee type deal. So while he's in office, this is what needs to happen under his watch. I'm trying to make everything, no running in the hallways, that type deal. And then someone else comes in and goes, no, you can run if you're late to class. Go ahead and run down the road. But as far as like English, I looked, and yes, the DOT, and this is where people are going to fly off the fucking handle. Yes, the DOT CDL test is available in English and Spanish. So then you go, well, what's going to happen there? Are they going to remove the English language CDL test? I don't know. I don't know if that's in the, I didn't see anywhere where it was going to remove the test. Now, here's the thing that I've personally had my own experience with twice. Two things that happened. One just recently, one many, many years ago. We used to have sea containers that came in from, of course, overseas. They would go to the port over here in North Carolina, and truck drivers would pick up these sea containers and deliver them us because they came straight from, actually, Austria. We were getting products from Austria, the company I was working for. And the drivers were from that nation. They were from Germany. They were from, the Ukraine. They were from that area. And they would come out and go, yes, please, park the truck. I don't know why it sounds Italian, but, it's that European accent that they had. Now, everyone goes, well, Spanish and all that stuff. There's a lot more people out there that are driving that don't speak English or Spanish. They speak a different language. They speak Czech. They speak Pole, they speak German, they speak Russian. You know, you hate to say that. So they're going to have to learn to speak. Can you imagine that guy at the way station? No, I have fruits and vegetables in the back. Yes, lots of fruits and vegetables. All right, Diego, come on down. Let's go. Let's take a ride down to the paddy wagon. Now, the second time, now this doesn't have to do with CDLs or drivers or anything, but here's what I ran into, just a simple little transaction. I had to return something to the UPS store. Of course, from Amazon, you know, tariffs and all that's high. We can get into that later, but not today. And I'm sitting there, and basically I have the little barcode on my phone, and I'm sitting there with my little box of what I'm returning that my wife messed up on. Actually, the Amazon messed up because they probably can't speak English. And the little lady in front of me, we have a very strong Mexican community in our area. We we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. We sit on about 22 some acres, but around us are chicken houses and chicken farms and chicken, you know, processing plants and all that stuff. Because we're just, it's Union County. It's the lifeblood of this area. And when I say chicken plants, Purdue Chicken comes out of here. Pilgrim's Chicken comes out of here. Those type chicken processing plants, like meat birds. And this woman, because we live in this area and we have a huge Mexican community, she was returning something. And I don't know what she was returning or what she was trying to do, but the cashier behind the counter says, "What is your name?" And the lady said, you know, her name in her native language. And the lady goes, "Can you spell that for me?" And she goes, and I could see it. She goes, J-I... Hold on. Un momento, por favor. She pulls out her license and hands it to her because I guess she could spell it in Spanish, but she couldn't spell it in English. So, yes, this happens a lot. Should I take her down to the border to see if she's, you know, legal here? No, but she's not driving, you know, an 80,000-pound rig down the highway at, you know, I think most of them have governors on them where they won't go over above 75 miles per hour. And a lot of them now with the DOT and the digital truck logs and stuff, there's no paper logs. So, and the GPS, they have tattlers on them. So there's GPS, there's, you know, you can't do this many miles in this many days and be on the road and blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of stuff on there that's been in effect that a lot of people don't know about. But as far as them speaking English, my wife and I were watching a video this morning during breakfast. Actually, I was watching the video. She was listening to it and goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Guy over in Arkansas was at a way station, and he was a regular, I say white guy, gringo. and the way station guy came up to him. He said, "Do you understand the words that I'm saying that are coming out of my mouth?" He says, "Yes, I do." He goes, "I want you to read this statement." And the guy reads it, and he goes, no, out loud. So he goes, "All right, whatever the statement was." And then he goes, "Okay, I want you to write this paragraph. You know, I'm going to give you a paragraph or give you a sentence, and I need you to write this down on a piece of paper." So he writes it down, and he goes, "That was it. That was his English test at this Arkansas way station." And he said something about $5,000 fine or $10,000, or you hauled off in handcuffs, which I don't understand, but I don't know how true that is. But it's coming, I guess. Is it better? Is it for the worse? We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your opinion. And the way you can be part of the show, you can be podcast famous, is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the very top of the page says, leave a message for Deacon Live. Be heard. You can record, listen back, and then send. You can be anonymous as well. We'd love for you to be part of the show. When we come back, Africa's creating a new ocean just for us, and it has nothing to do with me and you. It's what's happening with the environment and the global shifting of tectonic plagues. Did I say that right? Oh, God, I'm going to get pulled over. So stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Like I said, we'd love for you to be part of the show. You can be podcast famous, and the way you do that, your voice can be heard right here on the podcast. Go over to prophetradio.com. At the very top of the page says, be heard. A little orange bar. Leave a message for Deacon Live, and it comes right to our inbox, and your voice can be heard right here on the air. You can be anonymous if you want. It does want your email address to make sure you're not a robot, so you can do that. And get your voice in, and we'll play your voice on the very next podcast. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We do have chickens, we do have horses, we do have cows and animals and stuff surrounding us and stuff. So we're very out here. We're rural. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So there you have it. Now, out in the middle of nowhere, a lot of times you'll see some weird things on this planet. This planet is full of strange and unusual animals that you wouldn't believe existed, from the bizarre lipstick-wearing fish that can't swim to the world's most unusual bright pink dolphin, which is called the pink fairy. All of those animals are naturally quirky, but some of the animals look weird on accident. In the case of this one right here. Now, don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. We have our very own YouTube channel over there. So if you're listening to us on your podcatchers out there, whether it be iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, or any of the other 25 platforms that we broadcast on, you can also see the video in real time as we're talking about it here over on YouTube. Check us out at YouTube. Search DeaconLive Podcast. Now, this is a great example of where this would benefit for you. A photographer in Canada found a toad with eyes in its mouth, a discovery which has baffled scientists at the time. But what's even more astounding is the fact that there's a lot more complex amphibians like toads that you might not think about when it comes to this. Why is this toad have eyes inside of its mouth? The story is a fantastic one. So in 1992, a photographer named Scott Garner was in the Burlington County, Ontario, Canada, working on the Hamilton Spectator. Gardner received a call about a toad with eyes inside of its mouth. With this, his curiosity was to check it out, even though a small part of him thought it might be a prank. Nevertheless, Gardner went to the family's backyard where the toad was found, and sure enough, there was a toad that lacked eye sockets, and instead, the toad's eyes were inside of its mouth. Gardner captured the photo, and it was published in the Hampton Spectator. It quickly circulated around Canada and the United States, and was featured in notable works, including The Climb Mount Improbability by Richard Dawkins. Isn't he a host somewhere? Game show? The photograph was also featured on several showcases, and Scott Gardner called it the most iconic image of his career, even today. So the image has circulated around, but now a newer image has popped up here recently. So I'm gonna switch over to camera 4 here. So look at this. Jesus, poor guy. Look at him. Oh, he's just a regular toad, and I guess he didn't have eye sockets. You know, normally when you see a toad and they blink, their eyes kind of go down into their skull and then pop back up. You know, I guess, while they're swimming or whatever. I don't know how amphibians work. I know what an amphibian is. I know how they got here. I don't know how they physically work as far as the justification of their skull. But his eyes are in his mouth, so the toad actually has to keep his mouth open to see you. It's such a weird sight. Look at him there. Let's see what more of this article says. Let's go back to me now. Let's see. Toads and frogs can be odd, and certainly frog species females fake their own deaths to get out of mating. Haven't we all, right? But the fact that the toad was found with eyes in its mouth seems to be a little too strange, but true. The image is baffling to science is how it could be possible, but it turns out this is the real thing, even proven true by Snopes. Well, of course, if Snopes says it's got to be true. Ask him about the driver's license thing. And although it's uncommon, but it has been seen in more than one amphibian. The toad's eyes begin in its mouth as a result of genetic macromutation. A macromutation is a mutation that has made significantly an impact on the structure of the organism. In the frog and toad macromutation, they're often seen in its legs, where it's missing or malformed front leg or one of the other appendages. But in this case, the macromutation causes the eye sockets to be missing, and then the eyes grow from the palate of the top of the mouth instead. So scientists aren't sure what causes this, but it's out there right now. So there it is. Let's see. Is there a video? Oh, please tell me there's a video. Let's play this video and see what happens. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 just in case. Nope. Don't play a thing.
photograph in 2018 explaining that the
Jesus. What?
The odd-looking amphibian was found by two little girls in Ontario, Canada. Found surviving in the garden by two.
Okay.
A macromutation is a mutation that has made a significant impact on an organism caused by change in regulatory.
All right, get a better narrator. All right, got it. Thank you, Doris. We appreciate you. So there you go. Macromutation is what was happening with that frog there. Now, another mutation that's going on right now, and no one's talking about it, and you're talking about, climate change and all the other things that are going on. Excuse me. This continent right now is splitting apart. Millions of years ago from now, North Africa, hold on, fucking ads. North Africa could be home to one of the newest oceans as the tectonic plates pull apart alongside the Eastern Rift System, scientists say. Experts have long known about the portions of the continent are separating by as much as 0.3 inches per year in some places. Volcanic and geological evidence in Ethiopia and elsewhere in Africa indicates the existing ocean may one day spill into the growing rift. Several small portions of the continent from the greater bulk of Africa, according to the experts. The regional has encompassed the Afar Depression and the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Spreading centers is thought to broadly be the final transition away from continental drifting in the development of a true ocean spreading into the eastern Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea. So what happened to what's happening to North Africa to make a new ocean? Scientists aren't sure that the new ocean will form, but they say geologic implements of the tectonic plates pulling apart is likely indicated. A similar process created near Saudi Arabia's peninsula. Scientists have used GPS and satellite mapping to track down how the tectonic plates underlying Africa are separating, specifically in the known region as Afar, which also includes Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Eritrea. Okay. Geologists believe that the spreading of if the spreading continues, the three plates that meet at the edge of the present-day Africa will separate completely, allowing the Indian Ocean to flood in the area, making it the easternmost corner of Africa, the Horn of Africa, a large island. So Africa's splitting apart. Do we need to do anything about it? I don't know. We can't do anything about it. Can we throw some ratchet straps and ratchet that thing back around? So I guess slowly Africa's breaking off a piece of land, and it's going to have like this big valley, and it's kind of like when you played in sand at the beach. If you dug a hole and then the water would come in and separate. I don't know if I'm stretching that out a little bit, but still, there might be another ocean over there in the Africa region. Great, more fishing for all of us. And maybe that would be better too, to get some more water and crops into the center of Africa, because you think Africa, you think desert, you don't think water or anything like that. So maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is Africa healing itself, trying to say, I need to get some water in here. The way I need to get some water in here is break this little piece of debris off to the side and help feed my people, Moses. When we come back, you ever wonder why you guys all go out to eat and there's that one person that had the same thing that everyone had and got food poisoning and you didn't? Well, studies have shown exactly why that is, and I'll tell you what that is when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. You can see us in real time. Hi, me waving to the cameras here. You can see us over on YouTube as well, and you can see the stories in real time as we're talking about it here. So if there's any kind of visual image or any kind of like that, excuse me, like that right there, you can see that over on YouTube in real time as we're talking about it here. It just gives you another media source. We don't do it for the money over there. We just want you to have the whole entire experience for Deacon Live. So do that. Go over to YouTube, search Deacon Live Podcast, and feel free to comment, subscribe. And we broadcast every Wednesday, so you can get that little ding. Hey, there's a new episode up. Plus, we do a whole lot of TikTok videos and stuff over there which show up, or YouTube Shorts. We're on TikTok too, but let's do the Shorts for now. Now, you've seen it on the news several times. Guess what's killing all your children? Details at 11. No one really tells you what it is because you're like going, it's fucking 6 o'clock. I'm not waiting till 11 to find out what's killing my family. But right now, some tough news to take heart. A shocking new studies, and I'll tell you right here, right in the middle of the day, suggest that common chemicals that are found a wide range of everyday plastic products have contributed to 556,238 heart disease deaths worldwide in just 1 year. Our findings add to the vast body of evidence that the chemicals present in the tremendously dangerous to human. Says Lead Hyman. Hyman? Says Sarah Hyman. What did I say? Who knows? Says Sarah Hyman, a Bachelor of Science, the lead study author on the Associated Research Scientist at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine. Well, good. Congratulations. You know what we do. If we got big words, how to say them. So hold on. Let me, how to pronounce this. It's going to say something like Philithats or something like that. How to pronunciation. So how do we say this, dear? Oh, thiate. Oh, is that it?
Phthalate.
Phthalates. Why is there a PH in front of it? Because it's silence, dummy. Like you should be. Phthalates are chemicals lurking everywhere from cosmetics to personal care products to building materials to cleaning supply. For decades, studies have shown that when these sneaking substances break down into tiny particles and make their way into our bodies, it can increase the risk of serious health conditions, ranging from obesity, diabetes, fertility problems, and cancer. Phthalates have also been shown to potentially interfere with the child's brain development and leading to learning difficulties, as well as attention deficit disorder and behavioral issues. I got nothing wrong with me. Who are you? Where am I at? Maybe I got it. Didn't we talk about that last week? About the aroma and stuff, the formaldehyde that was in the kid's crib? And this is the studies going on to continue this. A new study led by researchers at the NYU Langone Health puts a spotlight especially on a common phthalate, which is di2-ethylenyl phthalate, or DEHP for short. So if you see that anywhere, run for your life. A chemical used to make food containers, medical equipment, and other plastic goods softer, more flexible. This is a common use for perfumes, air fresheners, and other fragrances to make the scents stick around a little bit longer. Exposure has been shown in other studies to prompt overactive immune response, inflammation in the heart arteries, which over time could be associated to a heart attack or stroke. So what you're saying is the air fresheners that make my house smell all good, it could give me a heart attack. Researchers have sifted through the health and environmental data from dozens of surveys on the DEHP exposure across 200 countries and territories. They've also analyzed mortality statuses from the Institute of Health and Metrics and Evaluation, a U.S.-based researchers that track global public health trends. Where were you during COVID? Where were you then? The findings were stark. DEHP exposure contributed to more than 13% of heart diseases worldwide in 2018 among people aged 55 to 64. Now that's scary because my dad's got one of those like Glade plug-ins in his bedroom. Oh, great. Well, he's 78 years old. He'll be 79 in June. So I don't know if the heart disease, he goes every 4 months to get his heart looked at. So, and as for the price tag, researchers estimated the economic toll from these deaths was about $510 billion, with some projections climbing as high as $4.7 trillion. How can they do that? I guess, I don't know. They got some kind of math as far as losing a body or something like that. While chemicals are used extensively around the globe to study studies have found that regions in the Middle East, South Asia, East Asia, and Pacific were hit the hardest, accounting for about 3/4 of the total deaths. India had the highest death toll, as far as 103,000 fatalities, followed by China and Indonesia. Okay, so there you go. Good. We're clear, right? We don't have to do this. We don't have to worry about it here. If India and all of them take the brunt of it, by all means, let them take it. But you have to think, there's a reason why we have, the EPA and the FDA and all that stuff. They're here to protect us from things like that, from foodborne illnesses and plastics and things of that nature that are bad for us. I mean, there was a big scare like red number 5, and for a long time we didn't have red M&Ms, and then they figured out a way to make red the color dye, and we got red M&Ms again, but no one would eat them. Do you want to eat these? They're back on the market. Yeah, I guess I'll eat them, and now they've taken some other red dye away, but who knows? But there are agencies out there that are trying to protect us, and for the most part, according to this research, they're protecting us for the most part from this plastic, the phthalate, that's killing people in India and China as well. They don't care. They just want to get shit out the door. Now, my wife recently went on she does horse shows, and she just went to a horse show not too long ago, and in that horse show, she's got a group of people that bring their horses, and she's got a trainer and all that stuff, and she does the horses. She, rides around in a circle and does the horse thing. The night that they went to this past horse show, I think there was 5 people in the group, and then like their spouses and stuff. I'm not allowed to go. I'm not allowed to go to the horse shows because she's got one child to worry about, and that's her horse that's 5 years old. She doesn't need another child to worry about, which is me. But they all sat around. They all have dinner, campfire type thing, and they all had dinner and everything. And I guess a round of beers went around, and it come to find out that the horse trainer the next morning says he got food poisoning. He wasn't feeling good and so on, and kind of put a damper on the trip. But the only other people that had the same thing that he had were the other 2 spouses or boyfriends or significant other. And one said, I didn't feel too good, but I was fine the next day. And the other guy was like, yeah, nothing happened to me. So why is it that some people, quote unquote, get food poisoning and other people don't? Have you ever experienced food poisoning before? You've been dining, like I said, with a bunch of your friends, and you all ate the same meal or ate the same thing or drank the same thing. And you got sick and they didn't. It may be a question whether you had food poisoning at all. But it turns out there's an entirely possibility that several people can eat the same food and only one person can contract food poisoning. People always come into the emergency room, this doctor states. I know I have food poisoning because I'm the only one who got sick. Emergency physician Dr. Justin Mazar. Patient education is crucial here, as it is more common than not everyone gets sick from your garden variety poisoning. So if you're not familiar with food poisoning, it refers to the gastrointestinal symptoms, which include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and fever. The symptoms are generally attributed to food that is contaminated with a virus, bacteria, or less commonly a parasite. Only when one person suffers a bout of food poisoning after a meal, it's a tough draw. But unfortunately, it's a common occurrence. There is a reason why some people may have unscathed by the little undercooked meat or an unwashed vegetable. Ahead, doctors explain why some people get food poisoning and others do not, despite eating the same food. To put it simply, your body, God damn it, your body may not be able to fight off food poisoning in itself. Every single person is completely different in the multitude of ways, including their immune system and gut microbiome. The home of trillions of microorganisms that can influence your digestive system and overall health. When it comes to food poisoning, it completely disrupts your gut's biodome, which is why you feel sick. And if you and your friends eat the same undercooked hamburger and you have an unhealthy microbiome, while they might have a healthier one. You may experience a little bit of upset stomach afterward. The person with an inadequate microbiome will experience food poisoning more often, the doctor says. If you fuel your body with healthy foods, your microbiome will thrive. If you don't, your microguts may not be able to fight off the bacteria from the undercooked or raw food that gave you food poisoning. The doctor says that the characteristics are inadequate of the microbiome are a lack of beneficial bacteria and microbial diversity, as well as the high concentration of pathogen bacteria, which is a significant risk factor for frequent bouts of food poisoning. He noted also 2 other things may affect whether someone gets sick or not: if they ate enough food to become infected, or what else they had to eat or drink that day. If you start your day by drinking alcohol heavily, you already damaged your microbiome that day, so making more susceptible to the specific things going on that day. So who knows? Maybe the one of the trainer guy had a couple sips of, a couple toddies in the morning, and then they all ate whatever that they brought and cooked and stuff. And then he was the only one that got sick. Maybe he had a pre-existing condition. Isn't that what they say? Pre-existing condition. So there you go. If you've ever had you've all ate the steak tartare and you're the only one that gets sick, it's because your microbiome dome inside your stomach is not good. Eat some Activia. Isn't that what they say? Drink some kombucha. That'll help you out, won't it? I don't know. You're putting a lot of stuff. Just eat some bread. Get some yeast in your system. That's what we do. When we come back, do you have a FUPA? Because they might charge you a little bit more at the spa if you do. And I'll dive into those details when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, all the artists that you listen to during the breaks are all independent artists. They want to share their music with you, and we appreciate them letting us share their music with you and show them some love and support. And the way you do that is to go to Spotify, and you can see all the music that's heard. We have our very own playlist over on Spotify, and the way you find out is go to prophetradio.com. Music heard on. You can hear the full-length songs. Make sure you download them and add them to your playlist as well. And we have right now all the artists that have been with us since 2025, since the beginning of this year. So check them out over at prophetradio.com, Music Heard On. Now, talking about recycling. Everyone wants to recycle. We want to be better for the planet. We need to do all this stuff. This woman right here has taken recycling in her own little neighborhood, her own little corner of the universe, to herself, and is doing a killing on it. And what she's doing is she's taking the plantain stems in her village and creating hair extensions, bags, and shoes. We can use them to make furniture as well, she says. So here we go. We're going to dive into this article. Entrepreneur Terry Robertson Kurameni. Why don't they just say business owner? Why does it say entrepreneur? I never understood why they just don't say that. I'm an entrepreneur. No, you're a business owner. You own a business. That's what you do. Well. Tomato avocado is refining suitability with remarkable innovation by turning plantain stems into beautiful eco-friendly products like hair extensions, bags, and shoes. Through her company, EcoFip FIP Nigeria Unlimited or Limited. The Nigerian woman is leading a groundbreaking circular design model where nothing goes to waste. With a dedicated team of 22 staff members, the company strategically harvests the plantain trees immediately after fruiting, ensuring that every part from the stem to the fibers and liquids is reused to minimize waste and avoid overproduction. So I'm going to switch over to camera. Hold on, dear. I know you want to tell the world about your product, and I'll let you tell them. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here, and she's going to show you exactly how she does this, where she takes the plantain trees and turns them into a product that's suitable for, like I said, hair extensions, bags, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4, and here we go. Let's hear her story.
Meet Daria Robinson, a Nigerian lady who is turning plantain stems into a sustainable business.
A lot of people are amazed, especially when I wear this and I go out and they know that this is from plantain. By the time you say plantain or banana, how? Things that are often considered waste is what we are using to create jobs.
Hairs, bags, and shoes from something that is often considered as waste. Men, when I heard about this, my questions were almost endless.
The awareness is not enough at all.
Yeah.
Yes, that this thing, a lot of things can come out of it, is what people are not aware of. You can make plates with it, take away plates, cutleries. All the waste is what we are going to use in doing all that.
Yeah.
We are not even talking of furniture. You can use furniture. You can make furniture out of it.
In this video, I decided to meet up with her to know more about this business and how she found out that this can actually work. So stay tuned and come with me as we uncover this.
Okay. So there you go. The Eco FIP, let me switch back to media. FIP Nigeria isn't just creating stylish everyday products. They're leading a quiet revolution in innovation, integrity, and creativeness. Beyond fashion accessories, Robinson envisions much more broader potential for the plantain byproducts. By transferring agricultural waste into a high-demand product, Eco FIP is creating sustainable jobs, reducing environmental impact, and reshaping the way communities view waste. Her innovation is promised to a greener and more innovative future. So she can make. You should have seen all the stuff that they make. So essentially, and I'm ignorant to this. Plantains. She's from Nigeria. I guess they have plantain trees all over the place, and what she's doing is she's taking it like fibrous stuff and she's making, getting it down to its simplest form, which is strands of fibers, I guess, and is weaving them and making shoes. She's making like plates and cutlery and pots and pans and furniture and all that. She's doing it. She's doing it. And it's a shame that something as simple as, we're looking at tons of stuff here in the United States, concrete. We can't figure out a way to make concrete out of stuff that we have, bioproducts and stuff. We do, but it's just so expensive. We've just been so set in our ways. And here's this young lady, Tara Robinson, over in Nigeria, and she's like going, "Hey, man, don't put that on the fire. Let me have it." And so she starts making hair extensions and beauty products and all that stuff. So good for her for doing that. Now, this woman right here, she was trying to take care of herself. Hold on. I know we got some things going on here. She was trying to take care of herself and make herself all beauty and stuff. She was getting ready to go over. I think, what was she going on a trip or something? Yeah, she was going to have to wear a bikini. So she went to a spa to get her bikini line, her first Brazilian wax that she's ever had before. So a woman has spoken out after she received a brutal text message from her beautician, which said she would be charging her more for future waxes due to the size of her pubic area. Okay. And she wanted to come out and say this. All right. Yes, you're absolutely read that right. Sarah Button, who had quite a week after the experience she had during her first ever bikini wax. Now, for those of you who don't know, bikini wax is it's a beauty procedure that sees a beautician waxing nearly all of your pubic hair off. It is very intimate. It's a procedure. It's a very intimate procedure, and if you've never had it done before, you're bound to be nervous. The waxer obviously has to get up all in your personal business and your intimate bits. So having someone understand and gently and as gentle as waxing can allow is a key to a very good experience. Unluckily for Sarah, her pain didn't come from the wax, but the brutal message she received on her text afterwards. So here's the text. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here. It says, "Thanks for coming down." Let's see. He says, "Got it. Thanks. See you Thursday at 11 a.m. Out of the front right now. Just got at the gate." She said, "Coming down now." Oh, let's see. Okay. She said, "Hon, just in the future, I have to charge you a little bit more because of the size of the area. I hope this makes sense. Nothing crazy. Just $5 or $10 extra bucks." Have fun in Melbourne. Just in the future, I have to charge a little bit more for the size of the area, the waxer wrote. I hope this is nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy. It's like $5 or $10 extra bucks. That's what I said. Can you imagine the screenshots show that Sarah was okay responding in the exchange with a polite no worries, but eventually this was not the fact in case. Speaking to Tyla, Sarah said the whole appointment was super chill. I can usually sense when something is going wrong, but I didn't have an inkling knowing. I can usually sense when something is going wrong, but I didn't have an inkling now. I'm questioning myself even more, she says. When I asked whether she spoke to the waxer since, she said, well, we had a phone call because I told my little sister and my sister ripped her a new one. So she did call me and ask when I'd like to book again, and that was a misunderstanding. I guess, confused here. So I guess because of the text message, she got a little bit upset, or her sister got a little bit upset, and the lady called her back and said, well, I'll set you up for another appointment. So this wasn't a misunderstanding. And she said, after the experience, let's get right to it. After her experience from Australia Sarah from Australia has shared the important message that for anyone who has a FUPA. And if you know, you don't know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, it's simply abbreviation for a fat upper pubic area. Again, speaking to Tyla, she said, the message I give is that there are really so many people out there with similar body types out there. So we just don't see them as often because there is a cycle of not seeing a similar body type and then thinking that you're different or deformed or something and then a perpetuates hiding in which in your case, less people are aware that they have a common body type all in the same process. Like nowhere of any mainstream media have I ever seen a fatty pubic area that did make me think I was the only one with a FUPA. I never spoke about it. She went on. I think just knowing and being confident is really a domino effect in many ways. I've gotten hundreds of messages from women thanking me or relating to me or just expressing their frustrations about their body. And it really made me feel so aware that it's very important to feel happy within ourselves. Speaking out about this is very important too. You would be surprised of how many people in your family have the same body type and that are, you guessed it, hiding it. It turns out that both my mom and sister have a FUPA. It's often a genetic or hormonal thing. My point is that your body isn't offensive, and you don't need to have surgery to fix it or anything like that because there is nothing to fix. There are girls out there that are getting fat transformations to that area, like they're paying money to get what we have. They are paying money to get what we have. Feel blessed. And the saying goes on, good pumping deserves shelter. and the bigger the FUPA, the tastier the chalupa. Oh God, did I say that? Don't catch that for me. So I think that's all been said and done. So this woman had a FUPA. Let's go back to me now. So this lady had a FUPA. Thank God I had it on a different camera. And she went to the thing, and she was going to go to Melbourne, Australia, or whatever, and she needed a bikini wax, and so she did her whole bikini area, and I guess she had a FUPA, which is a fat upper pubic area, and she, I guess, was nervous about it or didn't know that existed and all that stuff, and she's letting other people know that, yeah, it's a common thing amongst women. I can't speak about it. I can't speak about a FUPA. I know what a cootie do is. What's a cootie do? That's when your tummy sticks out more than your cootie do. And there's also Dickie Doo too. So guys get the same thing in the same sense. All right. When we come back, this woman had a one-night stand, fucking hussy, and took the morning after pill. And guess what? It didn't work. And studies have found out why it did not work on this one lady here. And it might happen to you. So be careful. So stick around. We'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook. Yes, our page is up and running. That's Deacon Live over on Facebook. Just search that. We're slowly getting the numbers over there, and we appreciate everyone that goes in there and activates themselves and is part of the show. And we post a lot of different things over there, a lot of shorts, a lot of reels, a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of stories. Some of the stories that we have here on the show, you'll find those over there as well. So if you miss anything or you want to go back and recapture everything as far as news articles, if you don't believe me, they're up over there as well on the YouTube, or not YouTube page, the Facebook page. And if you'd like to email me at any time, if you don't want to go on the air, that's fine. You can email me at any time at deacon@prophetradio.com. Now, this woman right here went to a wedding party. One of her friends, mates, was getting married, and of course, you always seen. I think there's movies and scenarios in certain industries where, hey, you hook up with someone one night stand at a wedding party, and then all of a sudden something happens. You're like going, holy shit, what do we do? Did we do something wrong? No, you're perfectly fine. This woman right here, Holly Firth, 29, says she was left in utter shock when she found out that she was pregnant despite taking the emergency contraceptive pill the morning after. A woman with twins after a one-night stands as morning. What? Why? I'm tired of AI writing these fucking articles. They don't make any sense. The conjugations of the words. A new mother is urging women to be aware of the limitations of the morning after pill after she ends up having twins when it didn't work for her. Holly Firth wouldn't change a thing in the world now that she believes that her pregnancy was meant to be, even if it did come at a quite surprise. The 29-year-old explained that she had a one-night stand with a fellow guest while attending a family friend's wedding back in July last year. She went to get the morning after pill the following day and says she thought nothing more about it of the unexpected encounter, and a couple of weeks later, the smell of like air fresheners. Oh, it's those phthalates. That's what's killing her. The smell of air fresheners at work began to turn her stomach. Holly was suspicious, so she grabbed herself a pregnancy test. To her utter shock, it was revealed that she was expecting. So you can imagine her surprise when she attended the 8-week scan and discovered not only was she pregnant, but she was having twins. Holly Firth explained the emergency contraceptive didn't work on her for a little known reason. And this is why. Holly welcomed her baby girls, Charlotte and Rose, into the world via planned C-section on February 27th. A bank worker from Ashur, Scotland. Oh, there you go. There's the problem right there. No, I'm just kidding. Said of her journey into motherhood, she said, when I found out I was pregnant, I burst into tears. I was just in utter shock. I don't know how to do a Scottish accent, so bear with me. I was single, and I didn't know the guy. I remember going out for dinner that night with my mom and my dad, and then saying to them that it meant double the love. Okay, yeah, that sentence didn't make any sense, but okay. I knew from there it was meant to be. Well, I guess she told her mom and dad at dinner. Holly raised the girls solo, as their father has chosen to have no involvement other than the new mother says. Although the new mother says the door will always be open if he wants to reach out to him in the future. I guess the rules are different in Scotland. You can just knock up people and just let them be and go on about your day, mate. She explained that although she has dreamt of becoming a mother, she made peace with the fact that she might not ever start a family, and she had been single for so long. So basically, she just threw in the towel. She said, all right, fuck it. Let's go with it. In the wake of her romantic liaison with the wedding guest, she intended to take the morning after pill to be on the safe side, saying that it has never failed her before. Jesus Christ. If you're doing it that much, get on something. Maybe she can't. Maybe then be more responsible. Have the guy put on a condom. Do they have condoms in Scotland? Yeah, they're made out of sheepskin. Well, you don't want that because there's holes in them. And so on and so forth. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in this article. But what she said, what she didn't realize was that the drug can only stop a pregnancy if taken within 3 or 5 days after sex. Can sometimes be ineffective. How does that work? It works by delaying the ovulation, the process in which the egg is released into the ovary, and it typically takes place in the middle of the menstrual cycle. But if you have already ovulated, the morning after pill will not stop you from conceiving, according to the Clear Blue company. It won't terminate the fertilized egg or prevent it from implanting. Holly didn't realize this and said that she's already ovulated, meaning the emergency contraceptive she took that day after the one-night stand was futile. It wasn't going to work. I've taken the morning after pill, she says, for other reasons in the past, and it has never failed. I thought I would be absolutely fine. Now I've got 2 girls. I've since found out, however, that it doesn't work if you've already ovulated. She continues, which they didn't tell me when I went to go get it. My period was actually due the day of the wedding, so I definitely already ovulated, and I think that's why it didn't work. Okay, second flag on the field. Girls, I don't want to say take responsibility, because maybe a lot of girls don't understand this. You have to know the reason why you have a period, why you have a menstrual cycle. There's an ovulating time. And what does that mean? Well, then you need to go back to your, not home ec, but your sex ed class. If not, I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there for you that tells you why your body's going through this. If your mom, for whatever reason, just says, oh, now you're a woman, that's from the movies and stuff. That's the only thing I know because I'm not a woman. But there's a conversation there. Why does this happen? And you need to be careful. There's a reason why when you go to get pregnant and you're reaching out to get pregnant, you go to a doctor and they say, okay, here's your ovulation schedule. You need to have sex between this, and so on and so forth. So it's the same sense. If you're going to play that pull and pray type deal, you need to understand that, hey, in certain times of the month, you are going to be more susceptible you're more fertile, more, I don't want to say penetrable because that's kind of weird, but you are more susceptible of being pregnant than on days that you're, not planning on being pregnant. If you make that. Now, I don't have any children. My wife doesn't have any children. And I say my wife, we've been together for 15, 16 years, 17 years. God, I forget what the math is on that. And we said if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now she was on something, and I was always careful. So it's, we play that field back and forth. But this woman here sounds like she was a fucking loosey-goosey. Just saying, I had sex with you morning after pill. And who knows? Maybe that's a common practice over in Scotland. Maybe they're a little bit more, hey, that's not looked down upon. When you go into the pharmacy and you ask for the Plan B, and, you're shamed here in the United States. Oh, you had dirty sex and you need to have a pill. Maybe in Scotland, they're going, hey, congratulations. Go ahead and grab a couple of those. Grab a 5-pack. We got them on sale this week. They're on the end cap. Right there type deal. Maybe it's not looked upon the way we do here in the United States. But, each to his own, and congratulations to her daughters, Charlotte and Rose. Now, finally, guys, step up. We have an Olympic sport that only men, and I say men, I'm going to say men right now. There's a whole, the whole thing about I'm a trans person, I'm this and that. And then, okay, this sport right here, only official men can participate in. And you're like, what is it? What is the sport? What is this new Olympic sport that's coming out? It is called sperm racing. Is sperm racing the next big thing? Well, it might not become an Olympic sport, but it will soon be, maybe. The so-called world first sperm race was held in downtown Los Angeles this past Friday, drawing a rather large crowd. But how did this start? Well, that's where Eric Zhu comes in. with the help of wealthy investors, the 17-year-old student and entrepreneur, just say business owner, I don't know, I hate that word, from the Bay Area, launched his competition to raise awareness of men's health and male fertility. So here we go. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 so we can see this in real time and all be friends. So here we go. The world's first live sperm race was held in Los Angeles. Now, let me set the frame for you. Let me set the picture for you. It looks like, you ever seen lanes in a swimming pool? You know, when they race, when they do the butterfly and stuff. I don't know if this is, it's got to be under a microscope because you can see the sperm on the screen. You can see the head, you can see the little tails, and it has the word finish and a line, but there are lanes for the sperm to physically run down. So let's see. There's got to be more on this. Well, there is more. There's a whole bunch more. So here we go.
Downtown LA's night scene exploding Friday with an event billed as the world's first sperm race. 4 contestants came with the goal to win $10,000 in bragging rights for the strongest, fastest semen.
I want to build Olympics for sperm.
Eric Zhu is one of the sperm racing organizers. With the help of wealthy investors, the 17-year-old Bay Area high school student and entrepreneur launching this epic competition to raise awareness on male fertility health.
The general public doesn't talk about it because it's so taboo.
The contenders, who were handpicked out of dozens of young men, were given money each week to train their mind, bodies, and diets ahead of the viral, sold-out marathon. The competitors' sperm put into a microscopic racetrack. And then they're off. The sperm literally captured on this screen, swimming.
It's under a microscope, and it's like a, not a NASCAR, an open wheel race. Like they're going through the towns of whatever. There's like a path. There, you know, crooks and nerks and corners and stuff and turns
to the finish line. But perhaps this was the matchup of the night. Male students from USC and UCLA. In the end, the Trojan won. The Bruin got creamed.
Oh God! There's so much to unfold there. So they take the sperm and they put it in the thing. Is it a timed event? Are they racing against each other? They really don't break it down. But there you go. Sperm racing is now a thing. And if you want to be involved, you have to be a man. And you can see them. They take the little thing. The thing with the thing with the thing, you know what I'm talking about if you're watching me here on the video, and they take the sperm. That's got to be the most embarrassing part because you need fresh. All right. You've got 3 minutes to give us a sample. And then what if there's multiple phases of it? What if there's like, okay, you finished the first heat. Now you go in the second heat. Oh, no, you can do it, Trav. You can do it. You can do it, man. You can do it. I don't have enough in me. Yeah, Rock. Get up, Rock. You can do it. Give me another sample. I think I just gave you the best ones. You got 3 more heats. Your arm and your body's going to be exhausted. You want to take a nap after that race. All right, well, there you go. Sperm racing. If you enjoyed the show and you like it and you want to be a part of it, the way you do that is go over to ProfitRadio.com. At the top of the page says Be Heard. You can be podcast famous. Your voice can be right here alongside of us here in the studio. Leave us a message. Comes right to our inbox. We'll play it on the very next podcast. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to email me at any time, you can do that as well. That's Deacon@ProfitRadio.com. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and give us a like and subscribe over on YouTube as well. And you can see that sperm video over on the YouTube channel. All right, guys, on that note, we'll let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
I can't do it. I got nothing left in me. All right, guys, see you. Take care.